Hello and welcome everyone, this is your host Florian Brugalla and his cat Carlos. And we are going to show you how you can generate interesting sounding vocals from a Talkbox-Sampler. But before doing that, I will show you how it sounds in general. This song is called Nekomancer and it's about being a necromancer, but only for cats. So basically casting spells to get the cats back from the dead. So what is actually the technique that I want to show you? It is a vocal technique. I gotta say to you, it is not about naturalistic vocals, but I guess you figured that out yourself already from just listening to the sound. Let us listen to the vocals themselves. Okay, that was already a lot, so let's break this down. We have one track that is fairly easy to see. It has no effects on it because I bounce it out. It is a highly overprocessed melodyne thing. And the other one is this group. Which consists of a consonants track and Humbox. And Humbox is this plugin, which is a sampler plugin that plays back samples that the developer recorded with the Talkbox. The developer observed for some reason no developer ever manages to create a vocal effect that can emulate the sound of a Talkbox sufficiently. So this developer just said, fuck that, I will just make a sampler so people can play back a bunch of samples of a Talkbox, so it doesn't even have to be emulated. Obviously the disadvantage of this is that you have to choose from just a bunch of sounds and you have to choose them with the articulation range of the MIDI inputs, so it is not as straightforward as singing into a microphone. But the good thing about this is that when it's 3 AM in the morning and you just don't want to wake anyone up or something like that with your singing, you know, or you just don't want to make a vocal performance at all, then you might just think to yourself, okay, what are the options for vocal synths? And if you are like me and you don't care a lot about naturalistic vocals, but you just want to have something with an interesting flavor, then obviously you can just go for something like this, even though it is kind of an abuse of what this plugin was supposed to be about. But let me show you what I did. When we open up the MIDI, then we see down here the articulations that are changing. This is the Ni articulation and this is the O articulation. Here's the A. Nekomancer. Nico. Okay, these two, they are both the same thing, even though they are for different syllables. But it was close enough. Also, one thing to note here, I had some of these notes set a little bit too early because there was a bug in the plugin, but it has been fixed already. So notes can be placed at the same time as articulations. Gladly can now put that over. And it will be nicer. Now let's listen to the same track without the Humbox group. Let's go. As you can see, this really adds some nice grit to the track. Just by itself it sounds a bit weird and like the things are not perfectly glued into each other, but when you are playing that back as a background track for some other vocal track, then it will just add this kind of laser vibe that you know from vocal synths like Vocaloid, but for a much cheaper price and a little bit more effort. I find it pretty cool and that's why I made this video. Carlos, do you wanna say goodbye to our fans? I think he doesn't.